Tuesday, July 19th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. I'm meteorologist Matthew East here with you. The heat and humidity beginning to really settle into our region today. It's been centered off to our west over the past several days, but now we're going to be getting a taste of that heat and humidity here really for the rest of this week and looks like through the upcoming weekend before some changes take place next week. We'll talk about that, plus I'll talk about Bret in the tropics here coming up in just a couple of moments. Thought this was a nice looking shot this morning. This was at 10 minutes after 5 a.m. from the Avalon Pier web camera there near Kitty Hawk in the North Carolina Outer Banks. Just a few thin high clouds. Those oftentimes make for nice sunrises, and looks like that'll be the case for coastal areas this morning. There's the broad view of the radar, and what you need to focus on for our area is that activity stretching from especially Ohio into Pennsylvania, northernmost West Virginia. That's with the disturbance that's dropping our way, and that is going to kick off some scattered storms around here this afternoon and this evening. Heat continues to be a huge weather story. Look at all of these heat advisories or excessive heat warnings. These are all the counties in Peach, all the way down from North Texas and North Mississippi to the Canadian border. Really, really nasty heat. There's the temperatures this morning. A lot of folks, again, from Texas into North Dakota. Still greater than 80 degrees for current temperatures this morning, and it's not only very warm, it's extremely muggy. These are the dew point temperatures. And this deeper shade of red here, parts of the Dakotas, Minnesota, Iowa, the Midwest, those are 75-degree plus dew points. Those are dew points that are more typical right along the Gulf Coast, and that's what's taking place way up there under that heat ridge in the northern plains. That is a nasty combination. Here's the upper air pattern today. Still that big ridge stretched over much of the plain states, but watch what happens. It'll build eastward, and here we are by Thursday evening. That ridge taking up residence over the southeastern quadrant of the country, much of the eastern seaboard as well, and by the time we get to Saturday, notice the center of the ridge is over Kentucky, Tennessee, into the Virginias. And then still looks like the pattern breaks and we see some heat relief as we get into next work week. Now let's talk about today. Scattered storms. This is the SBC WRF model, one of the mesoscale models, and this is valid early this afternoon. You see some thunderstorms going up over parts of the Piedmont, and then those chances extend into this evening. This is valid all the way to 9 p.m. and so it looks like some scattered storms this afternoon and this evening. Some of them could be severe. There's your day one convective outlook. I think damaging winds, maybe a little hail. Those would be your main severe weather threats today. There's what the GFS prints out. And again, the idea here is some scattered storms this afternoon and this evening. Highs low to mid 90s across much of the region. And then really tomorrow on through the weekend is mid to upper 90s. Even a couple 100-degree readings could be mixed in, especially Friday or Saturday. So tomorrow, I still think some scattered afternoon storms. Thursday, Friday, and maybe Saturday as well, but definitely Thursday and Friday. Probably only an isolated coverage. And as we get into the weekend, so there's Saturday and there's Sunday. It looks like the coverage of thunderstorms increases once again. Now, I mentioned that break in the heat for next week. The GFS is quicker with that. It brings the front in here by Sunday night, and then by the time Monday arrives, the front's kind of parked near the North and South Carolina border region. Europeans slower with that, and I'm going to err toward the slower side of the guidance and keep it pretty hot through Sunday before the heat tries to break by Monday and Tuesday there next week. Maybe some 80s back in place for highs by Tuesday or so. In the tropics, there is Tropical Storm Bret. It's weakened a bit over the past several hours, but not a bad-looking tropical storm overall. Really, it's behaving as expected. This is the spread of the computer model guidance. That northeast motion has begun, and looks like it's going to track somewhere between Bermuda and the east coast, far enough out to sea that there'll be really no impacts for the Carolina coastline, aside from some increased surf and rip current potential this week. There's the official National Hurricane Center track. There you go, between the Carolina coast and Bermuda. All right, so that is it for this Tuesday edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Stay cool, and God bless.